Hey, thanks for hitting that play button. Why don't you join me on my next live broadcast by downloading the Periscope app on your phone and following me at Colin Hiles.
Now, if you're interested in being a little bit more happier than you currently are, maybe you're already happy, but you'd like to be a little bit more happier. Hi, Laura, good to see you. Then just put a Y, a yes or a Y into the chat now. Let me know with a Y, give me a chance to have a swig of my cup of tea. And then I'm going to get into what this mind hack is. Yes, we've got some yeses, we've got some Ys, some yeses. Hello and yes, fantastic. All right, so here it is. Now, I'll guarantee that the majority of you on here, not sure, I'll guarantee that the majority of you on here will have heard of what I'm about to share. But here's the thing, you've got to ask yourself the question, are you doing it? I've done it, I can validate it for sure, but have you done it? So as I say this, rather than go, right, carry on listening to the research. Then I'll share with you what I've learned from doing it, because it might give you a couple of little tweaks that can make the difference. And then you've got to apply it. So what is it? What is it? Well, the mind hack number 4 is use gratitude to change your attitude. That's what we're going to look at here. And something that's really interesting of the way our brain works. Let me explain a little bit about the way our brain works, right? If we are constantly given a certain sound or constantly given a certain visual cue, or it could be a smell or something like that, after a while of continually getting it, it almost disappears into the background. Like my sister, bless her, she's passed away now, but she loved, yes, exactly, the law of attraction and The Secret is really what's made it popular. She loved dogs, right? Sharon loved dogs. She always had dogs. Sometimes she had 4 dogs, right? Now, the thing is, for Sharon, she couldn't smell the dogs. Her house smelt like her house. When we walked into the house over there, you absolutely knew that she had dogs, right? You knew that she had dogs. And she'd become so accustomed to it, she could never smell it. She never could smell anything other than her house, right? Or how many of you have had the example of going around someone's house where they're cooking or baking cookies? That beautiful smell, or bread, or something like that, that lovely smell. And you kind of go, oh, or they got fresh coffee on, right? You've experienced that. Now, if you stay there long enough, you'll stop smelling it. Yes, yummy, exactly. You'll stop smelling it. You won't smell it unless you walk out of the room or out of the building, wait a bit, or bacon, perfect, yes, out of the building, and then you come back in the building. Then you will smell it again, right? So you get that concept, just the way our brain works. It starts to get used to an image, a smell, or a taste, or anything like gets used to it. And then you break away from it, and then it can contrast again, and we get it again, right? So the researchers worked on using that principle. They wanted to test that principle out around happiness, around the subject of happiness, okay? So the presupposition that they made, I wrote this down in my notes here. This is the presupposition that they made. Everybody has something to be happy about, right? That's the presupposition. All of us have something that we could be happy about, okay? The challenge is the something has probably been with us so long, we can't smell it like we can't smell the fresh baked cookies or the bacon or the bread. We can't smell it, or the coffee. We can't smell it. So they wanted to test this. So here's what they do. I mean, and you know, something to be happy about. It could be having a great partner. It could be having great health. It could be, you know, having children in your life. It could be a satisfying job. It could be a hobby that you love to do. It could be a roof over your head. It could be you've got food on the table. It could be clean water to drink. It could be you've got a Michael Jackson signed copy of one of his albums. I mean, the list goes on, right? It could be any one of those things. But as time has passed, we've got used to those things, and we can't smell them, using the metaphor of the cookie, right? We just can't smell them. So 2 psychologists, let me give you their names. One of them is called, where is he? Robert Emmons from the University of California at Davis. And where's the other one? My notes. My notes are terrible. I'm ever sorry. Michael McCullough, I think that is, from Southern Methodist University in Dallas. These 2 people here are the ones that went out to test this theory of what I'm sharing with you right now. So what did they do? They wondered what would happen if they could test people's ability to be happier by getting them to focus on things they were grateful for. So this was with several hundred people that they tested this, and they split them into 3 teams. Team number 1, or group number 1, I should say, they were asked to list 5 things that they were grateful for every day. Just 5 things that they were grateful for, right? The second group were asked to note down 5 things that annoyed them every day. The third group were asked to jot down 5 events that had happened that day. And they had to do this every day for a week, okay? So everybody scribed down, had to write down either something they were grateful for, like remarkable things that had happened that week for them and things that they were thankful for. Could be, a beautiful sunset or a lovely hot summer's day or whatever it was, right? Generosity of friends. The second group had to write down things that annoyed them, like listing their taxes, children arguing, bin not being emptied, all these sorts of things. And the third group had to write down events like, made breakfast, made coffee, those sorts of things, jumped on the train, got to work, all that, right? So that's what they did. Now, the results were pretty startling. This is just for a week, okay, just for 1 week. Right, compared to those that were annoyed, or the event group, the writing down events group, those expressing gratitude ended up much happier, more optimistic about their future, physically healthier, and some of them even took up exercise, just from focusing on the things that they were grateful for. In other words, beginning to smell it again, metaphorically speaking. Remember the presupposition? All of us can be happy about something. So if this is resonating, give me a little love heart shower whilst I have another little sip of my cup of tea, and then let's find out a little bit about my experience, and then I'd love to get your experience as well. This is a mug from my mother, by the way. My mum bought me this. Look, she knows I love my cup of tea. So are you still there, or have I lost you already? You still there? You still with me? Crud. I might have to go and get myself a cup of tea too. Very good. Welcome. Is that Gussie? Gus? How can I practice even more important that you practice it if you're sad? Even more important. Because all of these individuals would have been having a whole different range. This is over 200 odd people. Still with me. Fantastic. This is over 200 people, right? So not all of them will have been happy, I can assure you. Right, so let me give you my experience, okay? My experience of doing this. This is something that I've been doing for quite a long time. And first thing that I found was I got bored, right? I'm going to be honest with you. I just got bloody bored of writing down 5 things that I was grateful for twice a day. And part of the problem that I got bored was I was writing down the same things, okay? Got lazy. I've got great family, great health, and blah, 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 right? So, but if you do this daily via journal, you can vary it up every day. Exactly. Now, that's one of the lessons. Okay, so here's the challenge that I set myself, and I still set myself to this day. If I write something in my gratitude journal, it doesn't have to be a gratitude journal, notebook, it can be Evernote, however you want to capture it, it always has to be something different. I can never write the same thing twice. Now that sounds bloody easy. It isn't. When you've got to come up with new things, it forces you constantly to be finding the new things, big things, little things, obvious things, subtle things, that you can be grateful for. So that's the first thing that I found that makes a difference. And by doing that, the great thing about it, whoever said, how do I do this if I'm sad? If you're sad, it's because you're focusing on something that you're sad about. That's how you get sad. It's to do with your focus. The moment you begin to focus on things that you are thankful for, grateful for, you shift your focus. Your focus changes. See, you're only ever one thought away from something positive. So gratitude gets us to shift our focus. When we shift our focus, we change our thinking, change our feeling. Change our feeling, and that's where the law of attraction comes in. If you're a bit more positive, then thank you very much, Laura, for inviting your followers. Your name will go in the hat, as you probably know. So after 15 people, I pull a name out. And if your name's pulled out, you get a free 30-minute coaching session with me. So that was the first thing, okay? Second thing that I'd say that I've learned from this is that gratitude is really the practice of happiness. Right? It is the practice of happiness. Happy people are more grateful. They've just wired themselves. And so they see the world through grateful eyes. Sorry, I missed that last one. If you will put that one back in again, I didn't see what you wrote there. So it is the practice of happiness. If we want to make, I always ask myself one question: what's the best thing that happened to me today? Great question. What a great question for directing your focus. What's the best thing that's happened to me today? What's the best thing? Then you have to evaluate all of the day, all of the experiences. And so you're doing that in your head. Think about that for a second. By asking that question, and questions are very powerful. Questions direct our focus. So I've done a video on this on YouTube, all about the power of questions. I think it was the last Mind Power video that I did, right? Shifts your thoughts immediately. Exactly. Think, what have I achieved today? Exactly. Another great question. What have I achieved today, right? So if we want to stick in this in the long haul, then spruce it up by focusing on different things and finding different things. That was the other thing, right? So I couldn't, rather than say I'm grateful for my family, I had to get specific, and it had to be new and it had to be today. So that was the first thing. Second thing, right? Change the time of day that you did it. I used to do it in the morning and then I'd do it in the evening. Some evenings I'd be so tired, I'd be like, I can't be bothered. I just can't be bothered to do this, right? Not good. So we don't necessarily want to do it when we're really tired. We want to do it when we're like real fresh. So I found that other times during the day work better for me. And I don't really stick to a time. I might just be inspired to do it whilst I'm sat on the tube, going somewhere. I might be inspired to do it when I'm sat having a cup of tea, or having breakfast. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. In my experience, just do it at different times just to change it rather than morning and evening. That worked for me. The other thing is change the how. I started just by journaling. That's one way of doing it. But you can also keep, I don't know if you've seen this, I think it was mentioned on The Secret or somewhere, but you can keep like a gratitude jar where you write down on pieces of paper, fold it up and put it in the gratitude jar. And then at the end of the year, you tip it out and you remind yourself of all the things that have happened that year that have been wonderful. Great thing to do. Personally, I have not done that, but I know others that have done that. They think it's fantastic. Here's what I did do, and here's what I still do, and that is, sometimes people come along in their lives and they just say and do the right things and they pick us up or they inspire us in some way. Are you familiar with EFT? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yeah, I know all about EFT and NLP. Yep. They come along and they just do something. And sometimes we don't thank them to the degree that we could. Well, one of the things that you can do is that you, like that old man, did the jar. You've done the jar method. How did you find using the jar method? What was it like for you? And one of the things that you can do, and I do, is write a handwritten note to that person thanking them. Right? You hand write it, not an email. That's the norm. How many times do we get handwritten messages nowadays? Not very often, is it? So when you write a handwritten message or a handwritten card, did it with your family? Was it good? What was the experience like doing it with the family? Sounds fantastic. When we do a handwritten note, it's far more powerful to do that. Far more powerful. So often I'll do that, and that might be to my wife, it might be to my children, it might be to a co-worker. My nan did it and always had me help her. It was a great opening the jar with my nan. Now that's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Been doing it for a while now. See, most of us know about this. It's a powerful mind hack. It works, right? And we know it works. It's the discipline of continuing to do it. So there's a few things that have helped me. Thank you for sharing your experience. And for those of you that are not, doing anything around gratitude deliberately and purposely, then give it a go. That's your homework, right? Take what researchers, these guys go out and do all the research, right? They kind of prove scientifically, or they're neuroscientists, so they know the way the brain works, and they kind of validate and say it works. And we kind of go, yeah, I'll get around to doing that one time. No, come on, let's just do it. It's not that difficult to do. And if
Hey, before you go, I'd like to offer you something very special. 4 advanced mind power training videos, yours absolutely free. In video number 1, we look at how to overcome subconscious sabotage syndrome. In video number 2, how to get into the optimum state to achieve your goals. In video number 3, how to activate the law of attraction with mind power. And video number 4, how to stop negative thinking and program your subconscious mind for success. Now, these 4 videos are designed to do one thing, and that's to help you achieve your goals, your aims, quicker, faster, and easier. And you can get them right now by going to www.advancedmindpowertraining.com or clicking on the link below this video.